Testing, check. 1, 2, 3, testing, check. 10, 20, 30. Testing, check. 100, 200, 300. Wait, these numbers are too small. Testing, check. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000. Almost 4,000 American soldiers already killed. Testing, check. Who's listening? Testing, check. Is the press here? Hello? Testing, check. Are the American people here?
Yeah!
Hell yeah. A majority of the American people want this war to stop. Test, check. 50%, 60%, 70% of the American people want this war to stop. Can we hear it for them? Who wants this war to stop? Testing, check. Can you hear us now? Can you hear us now? Over 3,800 American soldiers killed, but wait, these numbers are still too small. Testing, check. 10,000, 20,000, 25,000, 28,000. How many American soldiers wounded? How many American soldiers already wounded, sent back with broken limbs, without lives, sent back? Why? And a war for what? A war for what? For oil. For why? A war based on what? Lies. Oil and lies. Oil and greed and lies. And how long do we let it go on? Testing, check. 1, 2. Is this thing on yet? Hello? Hello, testing, check. 1, 2. Wait, the numbers are still too small. Because now, we can't forget, Americans aren't the only people in the world. What about Iraqis? Testing, check. Wait, 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, 400,000, 500,000, 600,000. How many Iraqis have been killed? Innocent Iraqi people killed. Iraq, who's done nothing to the United States. How long? How many? How long must, how many? Does anyone know how many Iraqis? No, we don't even know because our government's not even keeping track. We're not even counting. We don't even know for sure because we learned a lesson in Vietnam. The government learned a lesson in Vietnam that it's very dangerous to track the enemy deaths because then people tend to focus on that because death is a problem for people. Right? And we start to wonder, how long? How long? How many? 800,000? 900,000? 1 million dead Iraqis? More.
No more.
But that's still not enough. The numbers are still too small. The numbers are still too small because then we can also start talking about budget. We can also start talking about money and the resources. Lives are the most precious resource, but there are also other human resources. Our American, our treasure, our tax dollars, our work. The work of the American people being hijacked and used and spent and wasted on weapons of war, weapons of destruction. While what? While the planet is literally melting. While the Arctic is literally melting. While in the Antarctic, great glaciers are calving off, never before seen in history. And we're spending how many billions? 1 billion, 2 billion, 3 billion, testing, check, testing, 4 billion, 5 billion. How many just on this war alone? 100 billion, 200 billion, 300 billion dollars. How much does this war cost? 400 billion, 500 billion dollars.
2 trillion.
On war. On destruction, and in the meantime the planet is melting. Polar bears are swimming, but it's not just charismatic carnivores who are perishing. It's people on islands in the middle of the Indian Ocean, in the middle of the South Pacific, islands that are drowning. People, cultures, thousands of years old that are drowning. And the United States is the #1 contributor to global warming, #1 per capita contributor, and has been for years and years. And how long do we let it go on and we continue to ignore the warming and concentrate on the war? More war for how long?
No more.
No more.
Let me hear it again. How long?
No more.
War no more.
War no more.
Stop this war.
Stop this war.
Stop this war.
Stop this war.
Stop this warming.
Stop this warming.
Stop this warming.
Stop this warming.
Thank you for coming out today. My name is Jay Marx. I'm with the Washington Peace Center. Thank you, Paul. Thank you for the Peace Walker who's been making it out for how long? Stepping it up for peace. And the beauty for 30 years. But wait, that's almost as long as we've known about the problem of global warming. That's almost as long as scientists who have been awake, as human citizens who have been awake, have been warning about the problems of global warming that are only now coming to fruition more and more. And we're seeing it more and more. And all we have to do is pray that it's not already too late. And all we have to do is make sure that our Congress turns its entire attention to the real crisis before us, which is not the specter of Islamofascism. It's not the hideous specter of Saddam Hussein. It's not Osama bin Laden. The real threat to our country and to our planet is the warming of our country and our planet. And is the warring that our country is doing to our planet. And that's why it's an honor to have this space today here in front of the U.S. Capitol. We are here assembled to call on our Congress to address the two real crises facing our country and our planet today. And the first is the war that is on. And please stop this war. Yeah. Not tomorrow, not in 18 months or in 5 years or whatever Democrat might get into office sees fit. Okay, maybe we'll finally pull out our troops. No, tomorrow. Today, we need to stop this war. We need to stop this waste. Because today, the Arctic Circle is melting more. Today, Antarctica is melting further. Today, the sea level is rising. And we only see it just a little right now. We're only beginning to see it because there's such a thing in the world as exponential growth. And the world is only heating a little now. But the tons upon tons of carbon dioxide that we are emitting every single day into the atmosphere takes its time to work its way up and magnify the heat of the sun. It takes years. And so the effects that we're just starting to see now, for real, other scientists have been seeing for years and years before. All right, I warned that there was a little filibuster practice. So I'm sorry to stand up here too long, because what people are here for is a press conference and to hear from some of the luminaries of this movement. And when I say this movement, we're talking about two movements coming together here today, like waves crashing together, like the energy, like the synergy that comes together when two waves come together. And there's the wave of outrage and indignation over this needless, illegal, immoral war that's been going on. That outrage. And we're saying too long and it's time to stop this war. And there's another wave. Stop this war!
Stop this war!
And there's another wave of outrage that's been building even longer than this war. If we can remember back that far before this war. If we can remember how long people have been warning, wait a minute, what humans are doing to the climate is actually hurting the climate. It's harming the climate. And we know it, and we know it for fact, and we know. And one of the things I've been saying building up to this is that in building up to no war, no warming, we asked the question, what are the two things that the Bush-Cheney administration has lied about the most? What are the two things, the two lies that they have continued to tell? And one is an overt lie. The overt lie of the threat and of the need for this murderous war. And the second is the lie that they've hidden. In the same way that the Bush administration has amplified the intelligence, ginned the intelligence about the war. They've done the same. They've ginned the intelligence about global warming in the other direction. They've been hiding the evidence, the scientific evidence about global warming. And there are people here today who can speak with authority on the way they've done it systematically since coming into office. And some people say that we want impeachment, we want accountability for the criminals who lied to start this war and perpetuated this war based on lies. But to me, it's almost worse. I think it is worse to ignore what is happening to our climate and what we are doing to it. And to systematically use scientific research, our government research, government-funded research, to hide the truth about global warming. No! No more! Stop this warming!
Stop this warming!
Stop this warming!
Stop this warming!
Stop this war!
Stop this war!
Stop this warming!
Stop this warming!
Stop this war!
Stop this war!
All right. Thank you for coming out today. Thank you for being here. I'm going to get off this stage.